The Budget Committee will reconvene. We are honored to have with us the Honorable Gabrielle Giffords of Arizona, and we look forward to your testimony, and we welcome you to the Budget Committee.
Thank you so much for having me at the Budget Committee, Congressman McGovern. I really appreciate also Chairman Spratt and Ranking Member Ryan for today's testimony. I think it's important today to have the opportunity to testify before the House Budget Committee on what I consider to be a dangerous deficiency in the funding of our border security programs proposed in the President's fiscal year 2011 budget. As one of only 10 members of Congress in a district that represents the U.S.-Mexico border, I'm extremely concerned about stemming the flow of illegal immigrants, drugs, guns, and money across our southern border. Addressing this problem has been one of my top priorities in the United States Congress. In fact, that's what my constituents sent me here to do. The region that I represent is the nation's largest and most porous sector of the U.S.-Mexico border. More drugs are seized and more illegal immigrants are apprehended in the Tucson sector of the Border Patrol than anywhere else in the United States. Last week, I had an eye-opening meeting with the president of the Tucson Sector Border Patrol Council and his executive committee. These dedicated agents told me that in no uncertain terms, they will be severely hindered in doing their job of securing our border if the President's proposed budget is actually adopted. And that's why I'm here today. We need to listen more closely to the men and women who are actually serving on the front lines of our border security crisis, not the folks here in Washington who are making decisions for them. Every day, our Border Patrol agents risk their lives in carrying out their mission in some of the harshest working conditions in the nation. I believe that they deserve our gratitude, they deserve our respect, but they also deserve being supported in our congressional budget. We all know that our economy is going through a challenging time, but this should not prevent us from giving the Border Patrol agents the critical resources that they need to keep our communities safe. We all know that our budget is a reflection of our priorities, and I don't think that any member of Congress would dispute that our most important priority as members is to keep our homeland safe and secure. Let me tell you a little bit about my Southern Arizona district. Every day, the residents in my district live with a harsh reality that the federal government has not done enough, even though they talk about border security on a daily basis. They actually haven't done enough to keep Southern Arizona's border secure. Senior citizens in Green Valley have voiced their concerns for their safety because of the spillover of drug violence that has played out in their neighborhoods. We have ranchers and farmers in the Douglas and Naco area that are forced to contend with the impact of drug smugglers and tens of thousands of illegal immigrants every single year that cross through their property, their land. And residents of Tucson, my hometown, are constantly confronted with the immense toll brought by narco-terrorists who smuggle drugs and illegal immigrants into the Tucson area, across the deserts, and then they end up setting up these drug clearinghouses within our communities that lead to drug addiction in the areas, home invasions, kidnapping, some of the highest in the world in the state of Arizona, and increased violence. So in a word, the situation is completely intolerable. The federal government cannot secure the border until we dedicate sufficient funding to prevent illegal drugs and immigrants from entering the country and enforce the laws that currently exist within our borders. My first concern is the President's budget he's proposed to scale back several border security programs that have proven to be effective. The Border Patrol would lose 181 agents under this proposal, and if this wasn't bad enough, 52 air interdiction agents and 18 marine interdiction agents would also be eliminated. So this would lead to a total of 251 agents who are heavily involved with our nation's interior security. Again, a giant step in the wrong direction. I'm also deeply concerned with the inadequate funding of the State Criminal Alien Assistance Program, or SCAP, in the President's fiscal year 2011 budget proposal. In fact, I've testified before your committee in the past about the same thing under the previous president. SCAP was created to reimburse states and localities for the arrest, incarceration, and transportation costs associated with illegal immigrants who commit crimes in our communities. If you want to know how vital this program is, talk to Pima County Sheriff Clarence Dupnick, or Cochise County Sheriff Larry Deaver, or Santa Cruz County Sheriff Tony Estrada. They're going to tell you that these funds are a lifeline for the cash-strapped law enforcement agencies that are already hard hit by the problems along the U.S.-Mexico border. Regretfully, the President's budget contains only $330 million for SCAP, woefully below the $950 million required to fully fund this essential program to our border communities. Passing this extraordinary cost burden on to our localities and states is simply wrong and is completely unfair. Funding cuts for these critical programs are a real safety and security threat for Arizona, as well as border states, but frankly for the entire nation. As members of the Budget Committee, you have the authority to make decisions that will keep our border secure, and I urge you to take bold action to correct these deficiencies. I appreciate your time and your attention to this matter. It means a lot to my constituents in southern Arizona. I believe it means a lot to the people of this country. Thank you.
Thank you very much.